everybody, it's Christine Bertram, and I'm coming to you live from the Hive here in Fond du Lac, Wisconsin, also known as the Frozen Tundra. And I'm dressed for the outdoors today. I'm the only one out here, and I think Judy's the only one that was here almost all day, so it was kind of a little cooler in here. So I wore my big over sweater thing here. So I'm definitely gonna be roasty toasty. All right, so we have the last makeup class for January in our midst. Oh, it's the Made with Love Sweet Bundle class. That was supposed to be last week, Wednesday. And I decided to postpone it when my flight was canceled with my mom. We were supposed to fly back Tuesday, and it got pushed to Wednesday. And I think I made it home here about 5:15. And I remember looking at the clock thinking, oh, you could do it. You could swing it. But then I thought to myself, no, you're a day and a half behind already, and you have lots of paper cutting in your future and designing of cards. So instead of having class last Wednesday, I used that time to, oh, there's my phone. I used that time to cut paper, which I did for 3 hours, and then I designed cards for about 4 or 5 hours, and it was still a late enough night the way it was. So this is our makeup class, and I think now, after today's class, we'll be completely caught up with everything from January, and we could button up January, I think. So we do have class tomorrow night again. I'm not normally live on Wednesday nights, but it is a makeup class. Normally I'm live on Thursdays, and tomorrow's class is already the first class for February, which is the monthly class. And we've got some awesome cards for you. We kitted up like mad crazy ladies here yesterday. The entire counter is full of cards over here, card kits. We kitted up last week, Thursday, we did 1,000. We kitted up 600 on Saturday, late afternoon, early evening. And then we did the other 1,000-ish yesterday. Between, I think Rhonda started around 9 o'clock and we finished around 4. And oh, it's been crazy kitting. And on top of it, then what I dedicated my time today, basically from this morning until about 5 minutes to 6. I think Feline Mays, you were the last one I squeezed out before class started. I got 49 emails sent out today for people who registered via the registration form, and I think that there were 75 that had completed the registration form as of today. So that means I have about, I can't remember the math, but it was either 24 or 29 left. I think it's 24 left to do. And that is my prerogative or my priority for as soon as I'm done with class, I'm going to get back into the hot seat and work on those other 24 registrations. And so I did bop around and like pick at some versus others. And Amanda helps me and she stages them, and she kind of picks the ones that are easier first. So we're working through them. So I think that the majority of them from the beginning, like maybe I would have to say the first 25 are completely done, except for maybe Kathleen Ketterman. But the rest, we started to pick at them little by little. And I think that I am in good shape, that if I can get working on them right after class is done, I should be able to get everybody done that had filled out the response or the registration form. Now, there are people who filled out the registration form for the official Palooza and maybe didn't want anything else for the month. I need to get back with some of those people yet. And I also have people who did the pre-registration form for the Memories and More and the December Pumpkin, but maybe didn't fill out the registration form officially. And I need to reach out to those people too. So I'm trying to get through all the February registration form people first, and then I'll see what I have left. So, oh, my eyes are burning. So it's good to not be staring at the computer screen, even though I'm staring at a screen right now. It's good not to be staring at a computer screen. So I made sure to stand up every now and then and, like get the blood flowing a little bit and, attend to the fire. And so it's good to be out here with a change of pace for today. I'm looking forward to class. It's going to be a good one. We have some Valentine's Day cards that are in your midst. For those people that took class with me or got the kits for this class, it's not super overly crazy. There's a shaker card, and I can't wait to make that with you, especially for somebody who hasn't done a shaker card. It's a fun card. But what's nice about this class is it's primarily using sentiments on the outside. So if you don't have the exact stamps for the sentiments that I have, you can always use whatever sentiments you have. And there's some focal images stamped on the inside, but you can always put whatever you wanted on the inside. I don't have any kittens out here with me today. I have them all bundled up inside. Tyler is finally parking his truck in the garage again. It was a hot mess for a little while, but if I have the cats running back and forth, he can't pull his truck in. And so they are all snug as bugs in a rug, or all snug as bugs in rugs right now. So no kitten sightings, but you might have seen some this morning if you saw Gina's live. So we'll have I don't remember if they were live or not, but they came in here while she was live, that I do know. So, all right, let's see here. Trisha Faglia, your note says it's blocked, so I will unblock it. I don't know why sometimes it wants people to have a approval for their messages or not. But hello, Sherry Martin. I did not do your registration yet, but I know you have one coming. Faye Godby, hello. Hi, Sarah Merchant. Hi, Hope Toy. There's Bridget Rowe. Hi, Sarah Mitchell. Long time no talk. Hi, Connie Moore. Hello, Kimberly. And there's Donna. I am going to On Stage next month. And if you are also going, Donna Rose, and you're looking for something to do on Saturday night, please let me know if you'd like to join our group. I have about 20 gals and myself. We're going to Crafter Math, which is being hosted by Melanie Hawken. And I have 2 girls on my team that aren't going to be making it. I believe Michelle, we got her signed up, but apparently she didn't want to be signed up. I thought she wanted to be signed up, but so we have her spot. And I also have Yvette Lopez, who had to cancel her registration, and she had signed up for the Crafter Math. So I have 2 spots for my girls on my team that I'm looking to fill so that they don't have to pay for it because they're not going. So if you want to hang out with us, it's Saturday night. If you want the information, just send me an email. I will forward you the details, and we'll work with Melanie to get the registration switched over. And this invitation goes to anybody who's going to On Stage. If you would like to hang out with me and my bees on that Saturday night, and you're not already hanging out with us, let me know. The Crafter Math was $89, and it's classes, and it's a fun night to wrap up the last day of On Stage. So I'd love for anybody that wants to join us. And I believe Melanie has 3 spots, and then I have 1 or 2. I don't know if those are part of her 3 that are available, but I know that there's a few available. Hi, Linda Hunt. Hello, Susan Bellamy and Debbie and Randy. Hi, Gail Stefan. There's Ellen Brover. Hi, Chris. And there's Nancy Mole. And Margie is here. Yay, Margie from Hawaii. Aloha, live at the airport. Yay, you're at the airport. That means you're on the way to Florida. Perfect. Hi, Karen Wetstein. Hi, Debbie Clark. And there's Donna Palazzola. There's Cheryl and Jean and Doris. I know Doris and Jean, I owe you emails for your registrations yet. I keep looking at the names, and I kind of know who I've done and who's ahead of me, or like in my foresight. So I know a bunch of you are waiting patiently for your responses. I appreciate that. And that's a lot of cutting and packaging. Yeah, it is. Oh, it sure is. It definitely is. I'm blessed that I have the helpers that I do that love to come here and be part of the process and helping make the magic happen. I couldn't do it without them. And Feline is waiting for her doctor appointment. I hope it goes well. There's Julie and Trisha and Connie. Yay, you're very welcome for the card that I sent you. Hi, Linda Grady, and there is Kathy and Linda Scott. Hello. And there's Carmen Melendez. Okay, well, I'm looking at everybody who's watching now. I did get back to a lot of people today that are watching currently, and I do have 24 or 29 that are still waiting for responses. So I feel like I made a good dent. I did at least 2/3 of the registrations today. So if you missed and haven't done it yet, you can still fill out the registration form for February. When you look at my screen here, there's a QR code. Or if you're looking at this video and you're in the description, which is right there, the description has a link here for me, for if you're in the States, if you'd like to register for classes. I think it's in here. Oh yeah, right here. Sign up for classes using this form. When you click that link or copy that link, it takes you to a registration form. Oh man, it has the wrong link. Oh, you know what? I know why it has January, because this is technically a January class. So if you see this and you do note that it says January, it's not going to pop up for you like it pops up for me. It popped up for me because I own the registration form, but for anybody else, it's not going to pop up for you, and it's going to give you an like kind of an error. So what you'd want to do is go to any of my other videos that are for February. So any other one that is here logged for February, when you click on, let's say the Let's Just Stamp here, I've got a description here that when you click show more, that registration form in these should all be the February registration form. See, it says February. The reason that this one for today is January is because this is technically a January class. So let's go back to where we need to be. So hang on, hang tight here. Let's see, I'm live right there. Perfect. Okay, so again, what I was trying to get at is it's not too late to register for a lot of January classes, some past classes, for February classes. Just get your registration in. Our goal is to do shipping a combination of Friday and Monday. We're going to try to do all that we can on Friday and know that we promise people everything by Monday being in the mail, right? So those people who we can ship some things, like let's say you're not getting the Spring Paper Palooza and you're getting a smaller package full of card classes, I think we're going to try to shoot to get those out on Friday and all of the boxes going on Monday. So little by little, we'll get it all shipped and to your doorstep. So let me do roll call. We do have, I believe, a few spots for this class left in case anybody would still like to get registered for this Valentine's Day class. It's called Made with Love. And at this moment, I already switched gears and started to do February registrations, and I haven't even buttoned up payments for January. So if you look at my book here, you guys, there's so many open spots. So that means that I haven't gone through and officially logged everybody's payments yet. That's a different process. And so I won't be doing the drawing at the end of this class for the door prize for somebody who placed an order to get the class for free. I will make all of that stuff up. I'm not quite sure when, but it'll be. I always make everything up. So what I can do, though, is roll call. So I'd like to give a big shout out and thank you to everybody who registered for this class. I do have 63 names here, which is pretty amazing. And for in-person, I believe we had about 10 people or 8 people. And I believe we kitted up 80 for this class. I know that there are a few left for this class. In case anybody would like to add this to their February package, we can do that. Or if you're not getting anything else from me in February and you still want this class, we can ship it by itself. No problem at all. So if I don't say your name and you think that you signed up for this class, reach out to me. It was either on one end or the other end, but we can always make it right because I still have some left of this class and I wouldn't have to go and cut up special for it. So just make sure you reach out to me if you don't hear your name and you think that you'd like your name to be on here. So, all right. So it's crazy. We have Lisa Sharkey first on our list. I don't think I've ever had you first on the list, Lisa, but you are first. And then I have Amy Langlois and Rosalind Begay, Frances Rodriguez, Pat Shee Bischoff, Connie Scott, Sandy Coy Emery, Catherine Healy, Sarah Merchant, Faye Godby, Brenda Cottrell, Phyllis Oderman, Patty Randolph, Kelly Gibson, Stacy Tan, Mary Lemke, Pat Rowell, and I was just looking at the comments. You guys are talking about the doctor. I was like, make sure I didn't need to respond. So after Pat Rowell, we have Julie Block, and then Christina Bernards, Rose Garibaldi, Latokia Trigg, Karuna, Barb Rudolph, Lisa Mullis, Debbie Stone, the newest member of the Be Happy Stampers. Congratulations, Debbie. She joined today. How exciting. We're so happy that you are a proud member of the team. Yay. And then we have Rita Stuffy, Linda Scott, Bridget Rowe, Kimberly Snow, Lori Baxter, Trisha Fagley, Tracy Solar, Lynn Beasley, Jessica Donnell, and Michelle Foran, Vicki Rodriguez, Feline Mays, Barbara Godby, Linda Hunt, Ellen Brover, Julie Bontranger, Donna Grushke, Susan Bellamy, Angelique Schaefer, Susan Devine, Sherry Everett, Donna Rose, Michelle Foreign got 2 sets. I have her name twice on here, so she actually got 2 sets. And so did Stacy Tan, so her name's on here again. Okay. And then we have Gwen Petrashek, Sue Esworthy, Kathleen Ketterman, Christina Heiser, and Donna Palazzola, Diane Hamilton, Julie Block got a second set, Dee Camalado, Pat Kufen-Eben, Denise Lewis, Vicki Lem, and last but certainly not least, my aunt Marge Haas, who I was just visiting down in Florida last week. So I know that she has something else going on tonight, but I hope whenever she catches the live that she knows I appreciate that she placed an order to get this class for free. And I surprised her with it. I know she loves Valentine's Day, so these are the cards that she gets to make for her class. Awesome. So here we are. Let's see, did I miss anything? Already signed up for Saturday night, but I hope that there will be an opportunity to meet you. Oh no, you're already doing something. You already signed up for Saturday night. Okay, that's all right. I do hope that I get to meet you too, Donna, at some point. There's Deanne Dawn, hello. At some point, I'd love to meet you. Absolutely. You have my cell phone number, I think. So don't hesitate to call me. I do say that when we have events like this, that if people text or Facebook message, I don't always see that stuff right away. But if you call me, I see the phone ring. Kind of like when I'm at home here. I get engrossed into either kidding or designing or responding to emails that I don't always see text messages. So it's always best to call if you need something fast. So I am amazed at all you do. Aw, thanks, Judy. I do get tuckered out and tired by the end of the night. I definitely can't deny that. So Elaine Rebeck always asks me, she says, do you like stay up at night like thinking of cards and dreaming about stuff or have a hard time falling asleep? The answer is always no. I never have a hard time falling asleep. Generally, when my head hits the pillow, I'm out like a light. So I keep everything moving. Hi, Holly Paplow. Hello, Mary Lumke. All right, so let me flip down, you guys. I actually printed up more of these slips because this is how Kelly creates them for me. She creates them as 5-ups and then we cut them. So this is the made with love. I needed to make up a few more slips so that I could put them with my extra card kits. But it's today. Well, today is officially February 4th. This class was supposed to be January 28th. And the name of the class is Made with Love. So if you're looking for this YouTube video, you are going to want to look for the Made with Love and Cards by Christine. If you're looking for the PDF tutorial, I emailed it out yesterday, and Marge, I emailed yours out today. So if you're looking in your inbox for the PDF, you want to make sure you look for Made for Love. Now, for those of you who take the class with me, just know that I have an events calendar, and in the events calendar, I have the classes. So I have this January Suite class. I moved it to today so you guys could see that it got moved to tonight. But technically, this class was supposed to be last January, and that's what my dates reflect on the yellow ticket. And so I'm going to actually move this class back to January 28th, because if you're looking at your yellow ticket and it says January 28th, you can always go to my events calendar, find the event on my calendar, and right underneath the cover photo, for the online classes, it always has, you can catch the replay for this class on YouTube by clicking here, right? And it takes you right to it. So there it is. So that's pretty great. If you keep your golden tickets with your classes and you like to watch the YouTube, so for example, let's say you have the January monthly class to make yet, and you know the class was on January 15th. If you click on January 15th, toggle backwards to January, go to the 15th, and you can see here, the replay for this class can be found on YouTube by clicking here. I've been adding that link for many years. I would have to say since 2020 or 2021-ish, I guess. So just know that if you have a hard time searching in YouTube for my videos, as long as you have the date on the golden ticket for the class, you can find the YouTube pretty easily. Hi, Yvonne. So I don't know if a lot of people know that, but I like to teach you that so that it helps you in the future. So I am going to move this event from February 4th back to the 28th so that it matches the golden ticket. All right, so today's class, Made with Love. The class here that we're going to be doing features the Made with Love designer series paper. This is a DSP sampler in case anybody's looking to get their hands on something like this. I sell them as a kit, and all you do is you glue the designer paper and the color swatches to the white pages, And it's a great little handy dandy reference tool for those who like to create, your avid customers, or if you want to share with your customers that you have what the paper looks like. So we're going to be featuring these papers and these colors for class tonight. Again, it's made with love. And the cards that we're going to be making, they look like this. So you just need a sentiment. There's a sentiment on this one. This one, no sentiment on the outside that you need to stamp because LOVE or L Heart VE are die cut for you. And this one, sentiment. So definitely design these in a way that you can easily reproduce these cards and have them look very similar. And as a reminder, I have these sitting here because Connie Moore sent me her recipe card for Share, Create, Inspire. And we made this little card inside a card. And we did that makeup class on Monday afternoon. And there was the one that I made. And you guys can still submit your Share, Create, Inspire cards through tomorrow morning, basically. Kelly will be grabbing the names of all those who shared, I think, when she gets here in the morning. And the other thing that we did for makeup class, I have these sitting here just to remind people. Well, actually, this is February's Let's Just Stamp. So I don't even have the January one. But this one's coming up this month in case you guys wanted to do the pop-up petals. So just have these sitting here just to share them with you. All right, so in your card kit, you're going to have these little sprinkly dinks, and they're in a little bag. Thank goodness I have helpers that help me put, they divided each jar into 10. So you got 1/10 of a package, which is what you're going to use for your shaker card here, so don't lose those, guys. And then you're also going to need, for the shaker card, the foam strips come in really handy. Now, if you don't have them, you can always use your dimensional sides here. That works as well, but the foam strips come in really handy. So just have those kind of on standby or waiting in the wings. I do have Post-it notes on 2 of mine, so I've got issues going on with them, and we'll figure out. People tell me they like it when I have Post-it notes because then I show you how I can improvise on the things that I get in my kit. So we're going to take the top one and see which one it is. It's our shaker card. Perfect. So that makes sense why we had the gems on the top here. All right, so let's move these out of the way. Move, get out the way. All right, so we're gonna start with this one and see what is in our kit. So always look back to make sure that your envelope isn't hiding anything in there that you need. This is a pretty in pink base. Oh, complete with a cat fur for me. Oh, I love it. Good job, guys. Okay. So the reason I think I got this one is only because it got a little tight at the top here. This heart is almost the size of the mat, right? So when Anna cut all these, she did her best to make sure that they were kind of centered. I do see that I have a little more room on the bottom than I have on the top, but I still have enough room to navigate the dimensional foam strip here through there. But I think that's why I got this one, because it was probably, out of all of these hearts that got cut out of these mats, it was probably the one that was the tightest, closest to the top. And so I said, oh, I'll take that one and I'll work with it. And then you have a label, and that label is coming from the Sweet Tulips die set. So that label is where that comes from. You have a little strip of designer paper here with the hearts. Now, this has no direction to it. The hearts are going all which ways. And so that is going to get glued onto here. You'll have 8 inches of ribbon. So the first thing I want to do with this is make an overhand knot, because you have a lot of ribbon to hang on to. So it's easy to make a loop and then pull your tail through it. And then you're going to make that knot go all the way over to the edge. I am one that likes to secure my ribbon tails underneath, and then I glue my overhand knots on the top. I call that a faux bow. Whoa, there is a cover on there. So we're going to take and cut that one right away, and then we'll cut this. So I've got my little overhand knot ready to go onto there, and now I have plenty of ribbon. I have way more than what I really need, and that's okay. We'll make it work. This is that pastel shimmer paper. So for those of you who have the DSP sampler, that's referenced in the guide here. It is at the end. It's one of the specialty paper packs, and it has the Lemon Lolly, a pool party-ish one, and then the Pretty in Pink. So we use that in here. And then you'll have a window sheet piece, and there's a proper order to work on this. So we're going to do that here momentarily. But you have your window sheet, and then you have a white mat for your inside, and your pretty in pink base. Now, one of the things I always like to do is make sure I have a paper scissors. Oh, it's right here, very nice. Sometimes I get a little snaggle tooth on the end there and I can cut that off. But we don't line up your corners for you and we don't burnish for you, okay? We simply fold the card in half and put it in your envelope. So one of the things I always like to do is square up my corners here and make sure that they're square before I go ahead and burnish it. I wouldn't just blindly burnish in case your corners are off. It's a horizontal card, so you want to make sure that you're stamping your inside horizontal. So the one thing that you want to do with a shaker card is you want to make sure you get your window sheet down first so that your gems or your sparklies or your pretties, whatever you're calling them, that they don't fall out, okay? So I'm going to use Terran tape, which I have, fortunately, I was gifted this in a pillow gift from some of my team members. They gave me this 1/8 inch Terran tape. Now, if you have the regular Terran tape that Stampin' Up! Has that's a 1/4 inch, you can take it and cut it, if you like, right down the middle. You could also use liquid glue. I'm grabbing this one in particular just because this is a tight fit right at the top here. And so I'm going to make sure that I get my Terran tape all the way around the edge. Now, this does not have to be continuous all the way around. You can have some gaps. It's more important, especially when you're doing the foam strips, that you have it continuous. Right here, we just want to make sure that our window sheet is going to stick to this. Again, you could use liquid glue, but if you do, you want to make sure that it doesn't get too close to the edge and that it oozes onto your window sheet. And kind of using liquid glue with a window sheet is not always the best thing because it slips around a little bit. Just going to grab one more little section here for it. All right, now I only used this one because I had this little gap right there that like I needed it to be an 1/8 inch. All right, so pick these all off. Just know the more that you press down on this waxy paper, the easier it is for it to pick off. A lot of people here, they'll use the, oh man, there's a booger on there if I've ever seen one, wow. A lot of people use this pokey tool because it allows you to kind of wedge the pointy end underneath and then it kind of lifts up the tape. If you have fingernails, that always works too, as long as the waxy part has been pushed down enough, right? So the pokey tool, fingers, nails, whatever you want. So once you've got all this taken off, you're gonna grab your window sheet. Now you could use a dryer sheet or you could use something to help in case it's staticky. You kind of don't want to have fuzzies all over the place or things sticking to it. And the goal is to not have any gap in this window area. So I'm going to, the window sheet is about a 1/16 of an inch less what the red mat is. And you just want to make sure that, oh, I just barely, okay. Just barely, my window sheet end right there. But that's all right. You don't want to be over any more to the right for me. Now, if you have the capacity and it didn't go down very hard, you could always like potentially lift it up, and I'm not going to worry. Okay, I tried to, and then all of a sudden I was like, nope, starting to rip. As long as I don't have a hole here, I'm okay. And I, by the hair of my chinny chin chin, made it by. I squeaked by. Okay, so let's do this first. Before, I want to get the ribbon down and I want to get this down, and then we're going to put the foam strip. So I'm just going to put a little bit of liquid glue. If you don't like the hearts, you could always put these polka dots up. So we're going to put this so there's the same margin on the top, the bottom, and the left. And then grab Terran tape. Now, I can grab, hang on, I'm going to grab some Terran tape from my table over here. When I have helpers here, it's instinct to grab stuff out of this caddy because they know it's there, and I tell them to, but then it doesn't always end up back over here. So I'm gonna put a regular piece of tear and tape at the top and the bottom, and I'm gonna capture the ends of my pink ribbon. So this is that bubble bath ribbon. I'm gonna capture this. I'm gonna have it all over the DSP, not half on, half off. Okay, so something like that. Now, for those that are frugal like me, you can choose what you want to do with this extra ribbon. Now, you might not have that much extra ribbon, but that could always be a little tail, 2 little tails coming down underneath a label, right? So waste not, want not. Do with it what you want. And then you grab 2 more pieces of tear and tape. Should have had them waiting in the wings, but I didn't. All right. Okay. Next, we're going to take our foam strips. So grab one of those, and I want to be especially cautious up here because I don't want to be, I knew that I had about 1/8 of an inch. Okay, so I've got that buttoned up. And what's great about these foam strips is you can maneuver them where you want them to go. That wax paper kind of gives it a little bit of a hard time, but ultimately it moves with where you want it. And this is what's important. You don't want to have any gaps with your foam strip here. So I'm going to run this around the heart, and we're going to need a little bit more. So I'm going to guess maybe this much, like that. And doing good. We're going to see once, oh, that was perfect. That guy, and then I've got a little bit that can fit here, and all right, so it's all closed off now. So I have this little bit right here. I'm just going to set it there, and all of this is going to get popped up and put on the front of the card. So I'm going to grab a little more here, and I'm going to stage the side here so that that is all flush. I'm going to take this and put it here, and I'm going to grab another piece for right here. And let's see here. I'll grab another one and like that. So this is just helping so that there's support everywhere. Now, part of me just wants to use this up so that I can throw away the sheet. So oh, I had to. I just had to. So we're going to find a spot. We're going to put this one here. We're going to put this one here. And for good measure, we're going to just, you got to be careful when you have wax paper. It doesn't like to stick. So we're going to put that one right there. Okay. So I got to use up my sheet. The main thing now is we need to get our sprinkles in here. And then we're going to close off the area with this pink piece of paper. And then this gets adhered to the pink card base. But you have your sprinkles here. And I will say I'm picky. I know that I'm picky. And I didn't really want to have these black envelopes in here. So I did go through and I picked them all out because I was like, nah, I don't really want them. But the next person wants them, right? The main thing is, though, you want to just leave 3 hearts out so that you can glue them to the outside. And I'm not going to be as picky, and I'm just going to put my envelopes in. So what I'm going to do, though, first is I'm going to pick all of the waxy parts off that are currently on top of my adhesive heart here. Even this on the side. I'm going to pick these off so that they're staged and ready to go. You just have to be careful that no pet jumps on your card now. I don't have to worry about it because the kittens aren't here. And that you don't get your fingers stuck in it. Because once you put the gems down, you got to be really careful. All right, so take your little baggie. And we're going to pour them onto the envelope, the window sheet. Choose your words. There's a little static electricity going on. So I want to make sure I get all these out. I got a pair of lips in here yet. And I got a heart. If I only had a heart. So let's make sure we get that one. And then what I'm going to do is make sure nothing's sticking to the foam. I'm gonna spread these out so they're a little thinner and grab a white one and a pink one and the other pink one. All right, so I got 3 different colors. On this one I put 2 whites, but I think on the sample I'll show you what it looks like with the 2, a pink and a white and a pink. So kind of spread that a little thin. And if you don't want these little black envelopes in and you want to do something else with them, definitely take them out. But if you like them and you don't care or just whatever, put them in here. All right, so we don't want that. So once you go to put this down, you don't get many second chances. It's like get it lined up, get it good to begin with. All right, so you want to make sure all of the open heart area is covered up. And this is basically a 1/16 of an inch less the red mat. And it should be wide enough so that you don't have any openings. So I'm going to hover over the top till I have it centered where I need it. And then you have to commit. So the goal is to not have any opening over here, and you don't want any opening there, and it goes not exceeding the top or the bottom. If you get it on a little crooked and part of it hangs up over the top, you can take your scissors and you can trim it so that you don't see it. Your ultimate goal is to not see the window sheet or the pink pastel past the red, right? So now you've got all these shakers in here. Super cool, right? So that's a traditional shaker card. And then what we're going to do is use liquid glue and put liquid glue here. Because we've already popped up this red one. We don't want to pop up behind the pink. If you did, you'd have to pop up a double side. You know, on this side, it'd have to be double stuff. All right, so this will now get adhered to the front of the card, making sure it's on there right or correct. You've got about that 1/8 inch gap or margin all the way around. There you go. Perfect. All right, so that was a lot of how to put that part together. Now we get to do some stamping. So the stamp sets that I've pulled, this was your Endless Love, the dies, and they go with this stamp set. But what we used from here are the little dots, and then Hello Friend and Happy Valentine's Day and some hearts. So the Hello Friend you called, is it me you're looking for? That comes from Sweet Bugs. And you can tell that this one was loved. This was a double dipper card, so we did this one for the escape. All right, so you're going to want the real red ink. And we'll stamp the label first. Thanks for liking and sharing, Linda. I appreciate it. All right, so we've got Hello Friend. Perfect. Okay, like it. Then we've got the Happy Valentine's Day and the hearts on the inside. So the Happy Valentine's Day is 3 stamps, and you could set them all up together on one block, or you could stamp them all separate. Whatever gets you going. So we're going to do the Valentine's first, and we'll put the happy then, and then the day. Happy. Wow, that kind of suctioned. And that is, okay, so Kimberly Snow, was it you that was saying that I always stamp things straight? I don't know if you can tell, but that is definitely going uphill. It's crooked. I don't always stamp things straight. So now, but now I see what I did. I'm going to bring it down a hair on the right to try not to be so going uphill both ways in the snow on your way to school, right? All right. Then we've got the happy. Happy, happy. I feel happy. Oh, so happy. I put that right there. Hello, Shirley Natali. I'm glad you made it. Yay. And then we've got the day. And I like that to the right a little bit, offset from the happy. I think that's it for the red ink. What I did with the pretty and pink ink is the little heart, if I only had a heart. So that will go right there. And then the little dots. The little dots are, I don't know if I pulled them out yet. They are part of this set right over here. So you could leave the label like it is, but I have a hard time with how white it is. So I like to add some texture to the label. And because the stamp was in there, so why not, right? Perfect. All right. I think that might be everything. And what we can do now is this gets glued onto the inside. Well, mostly straight, yes. I would say, yeah, I mostly get things straight, but I do get things crooked as well. So that is what our inside goes for. Now, those people who love to double mat, we don't generally double mat this class, but if you want the double matting, you could easily cut yourself a mat. Now, that is officially dry. I can't be using that one. So let's grab one that is hydrated. Happy hearts. We'll clean the day and our dots and that one and that. Perfect. Okay, so the happy or hello friend, I just took tear and tape. You could use liquid glue. I found it easier to use tear and tape on this one. And I ran 2 lines under or behind it. And it's slightly to the left of the ribbon, a little over the window sheet. Leave a little room for your overhand knot to go there. And hello, Margaret from Illinois. I'm gonna grab a little glue dot. And then our little overhand knot can stick right to that glue dot, right there. Push it down real good. And then to put the hearts on, I'm just going to put little dots of glue. Don't squeeze too hard. You just need dot, dot, not a lot. If you have your pokey tool, it helps to use the pokey tool. I'm going to put a white one over on the side here, maybe right there. And then I'm going to put the dark pink one up there, and then the light pink one there. I am using my finger to hold it down so it doesn't pull back up with the putty tool. Perfect. Now, for the Stella, I think that I have a Stella pen hiding back there. Is that the good one? It might be the good one. So, you could decide to Stella some of these embossed hearts. So this is an embossing folder that, oh, I don't know if I like that, but you guys can't even see it, but I think I have to do a few more. This embossing folder, oh, look at me go here. It's called Hearts of Love 3D embossing folder, and it's right there. Okay, in the Beekeeper's Guide. All right, so for my Stella, you can see the Stella, and it really shows off, okay? So I have to find a couple more that I need to do. I can't just have that one randomly like that. So we're just going to do a couple of them, I guess. I would maybe vote not to do any, but now that I've done a few, I have to continue down this path of Stella-ing some of these hearts so it looks uniform. Or not like an afterthought. And then I'm going to find one over here and I'll do that guy. Okay. So now that looks a little bit better. I've got the random Stella-ing going on the front. If you wanted to, I guess the one thing I would have done is maybe just Stella this whole piece of designer paper a little bit to blitz it up. Okay. Voila, as Kelly would say, we have the one done. Our shaker card. So I think we got the hardest one out of the way. And not that it's hard, it's just a little more tedious. So we're done with the frand. So that's the only one that I used out of this set. And then the next card underneath here in line, it's another pretty pink base. It's all about the base. No trouble. I'll leave you there. Okay, that guy is this one. All right, now you got that one final look. In case you guys want the PDF tutorial, you can always refer to that for pictures too. This one uses the joined together embossing folder, which was part of the Inspire Imperfections one from the annual catalog. So we've got that. We've got our stylish shape banner, heart, arrow. So a heart and 2 arrows. Now you're probably wondering about the silver here. It's okay that it's cut off partly. You don't need all of that extra bit actually cut out of silver because it's just going to get covered up anyways. You have a little strip here of this pastel pink again, and then you have 2 DSPs that are from the pack, a little 1/2 inch and like a 1 1/4 or 1 and something, right? And then 3 gems are in here, so don't lose them. They are those pearlized gems. They're really pretty. They are right here, pearlized faceted circles. So they come in coral, pink, and white. So they matched very nicely with these cards. It's a vertical card, so we're gonna make sure we keep that up and down, and la-da-da, we have our pink ribbon again. All right, first things first, let's do our little burnishing. You like the Stella on the hearts, good. Okay, see, then you know. Now you could see what it looked like. All right. I'm getting warm now. We're working up a sweat here, guys. All right, let's see what can we do first. The little arrow. So for this, you don't really want that there. So I'm actually going to take my scissors. I'm going to nip that where it starts to angle. I'm going to cut that off. And then for this, it just gets glued onto here. So I'm going to grab the liquid glue. Put a little bit of that over the top. We could do what Rose Coleman does and let it marinate for a little bit. So let's just give that a second to get a little more tacky. While we do that, what we can work on over here, it's hard to see it, but we did take on the red, we hovered over the top with a white inked up dauber. So I have my white pad here. Oh, that's my white black pad, complete with a cat fur. I have to just get that off there now that I see it. Ah, perfect. Okay, so I take my white pad and I make it black. So I just grabbed the wrong pad and accidentally, we can grab the right one here though. So we have the white pad and we're gonna grab a dauber. Ink up, whoa, runaway dauber. So the part that gets covered up, I'm gonna test it on there. And with my flowers over here and these little diamonds at the bottom, it just illuminates it a little bit. I love doing that to embossed areas. So it draws attention to the popped up part. You can always add ink, but you can't take it away. And I'm dipping off where I know the designer paper is gonna go. You could always do that on a different piece of paper if you wanted. I'll show you if you can see here. It's just light. It illuminates it a little bit. Like that side is nothing. And then this one you can kind of catch that it's got a little bit of a white hue over the top of it. If you want to do more, you can do more, but I definitely can't take it away if I put it on. So I'm good with that. So that's it for the white ink for tonight. I'm certain, I think that's it. All right, this guy's probably good now. So this class is the Sweet Bundle class. And if you are in Canada and you are interested in this class, you should definitely reach out to Rose Coleman. We work together. She designs the technique class and I offer it in the States. And then I design this class and she offers it in Canada. So if it's something you're looking for, her contact information is in the description for this class right now. So you can reach out to her. All right, let's glue these guys down. We're going to start with the little heart strip here, and then we'll do the pastel shimmer. and then that guy. So this one, again, these hearts have no rhyme or reason to them. And I'm going to stick about 1/8 of an inch away, like that. Making sure I've got the same distance away on the top and the bottom. I'm going to make sure I'm flush at the top, and I'm not going to worry about the bottom for right now. And then for this one, leave a little gap. It can be the same as what's on the left side or a little less. But trying to make sure it's equidistant in between here. And then the last one, hearts again don't have any ups or downs. Just like that. And then flip it over. And if you have any part that's hanging over, you can use your scissors to trim it. And if it's too short, like if either one of them are short, you can just take and trim a little of the red off. Right? But the main thing is to have them all even on the bottom. Then this will get glued onto the top of your card base. Like so. Your heart. If I only had a heart. You're going to have some dots. The dots are going to need to get popped out. Some of them stuck in the machine. Some landed in your envelope. Some are on the floor here. But there might be some left in your heart. And you want to make sure you pop them out. And it's nice to have something to catch them so they don't go all over the place. Then this is going to get popped up with dimensionals. That should be good. And then I've got a little bit of this one you can see here, and it's maybe centered like top to bottom, I guess. This edge of the heart, it just hits the edge of the red here. And I'm going to go right about like that. So this heart is not mirrored. This hump is different than that Humpty Hump. All right, and you have a little tag here. So this has hugs and kisses. That comes from this set. And the set, again, the name is called Endless Love. So we're going to stamp the hugs and kisses in the red. We definitely gave red a workout. Hi, Jamie Kirkpatrick. We gave the red a workout tonight, or for this class. So there's something going on with my label. I noticed there's a little coloring on there. I don't know if it's from when they die cut it, but if you take your ink eraser, if you catch it beforehand, you can get it off of there. And then we're going to put hugs and kisses right through the center. And then you need a dauber again, but this time we're going to use red. And I used that to put a little bit of ink color around this little label. Again, you can add, but you can't take away. So if it ends up being darker than what you want, you might flip it over and try again, but I'm good with that. And then on our inside, we've got some words, and we have Happy Valentine's Day and a wee widow heart. So that little heart comes from this set. And the Happy Valentine's Day, that actually comes from a set that is called Valentine's Kisses. We used this one for the monthly class earlier in January. And so it's a really pretty font for that. We'll just use this guy. So you got a vertical card. So when you use a block that is way too big for the stamp, you just want to be careful you don't rock. Otherwise, you're going to get ink on your corners. And then when you go to ink your paper up, you might rock and get some the ink that you don't want on it. So we're going to go like this. And do Happy Valentine's Day. So Kimberly, I'm going uphill again. I wonder if it's my sweatshirt. My arm is not holding the stamp what I normally do. Let's bring it down a hair. And then you've got a little heart. Hello, Catherine Healy. All right, like that. Perfect. Okay. I think that's it for ink on this one. So we could glue this and put that on the inside. All right. Outside. Talk about our banner or our little sentiment. You're going to want to get some some tear and tape. You're going to put 2 of them waiting in the wings, and 2 of them are going to need to go on the sentiment strip. I got one side, it's to the back right side, and the bottom left side. Okay, so the banner or the arrow, you're probably going to notice that it's not the same length as this one, and that is because we cut it apart. So what I would do is, if you're curious, it's probably at a half an inch is showing, so you could cut it at maybe 3/4 of an inch. So something like right about here, maybe an inch, right? So when you look at this, that much is underneath and that much is underneath. So I'm going to cut this, and it's our arrow is going to grow. I'm so excited that you and David are coming along with us to Alaska, Catherine. That's going to be so awesome. So I'm cutting it in half. It's not going to hurt it. Don't worry. And then what I'm going to do is put a glue dot. I'm staging this with a glue dot. I'm going to put the glue dot on the top. And then I'm going to put the glue dot on the top. Right? And what is that? You right? Well, so I have the luxury of having the card here. So this is what's great about having a template. But if you don't have a template, I'll show you what it looks like behind here. When you make sample cards or extra of a card, you can always, that's my trick, right? I like to, so now it looks exactly like that, right? I'll show you, oh, hang on, it didn't stick. So 1 second, we're gonna try again. One moment, I gotta get my glue ball at the top there really good. And we're gonna pick that up. There it is. Okay. Oh man, it does not want, oh, you know why? It's because of the washi tape. Hang on. It's not washi tape, it's tear and tape. One moment, this is what's happening. It wasn't sticking because that waxy paper. Let's try one more time now. This will work. Okay, so there's that one. Let's try this guy again. Perfect. All right. I needed to take the waxy off of the tear and tape, but that's what the back looks like. So you have a gap of about 1/2 of an inch, and you just want to make sure that your arrow has a continuous, you see how I squished it over so that it all looks like it's kind of flush with my ruler. All right, that's good. Now what you're gonna do is take your ribbon, fold it in half, and cut it in half. There's not enough to go back and forth the whole way. You know how I work, right? Very frugal with our ribbon. So this one catches the tear and tape a gap away from the arrow, and you're gonna make a loop, and then the tail comes back out right in the middle of that, in that gap area, right? So like that. You have a tear and tape waiting in the wings here. That needs to go over the top of it, right? Then you're gonna do the same thing at the bottom. A little bit away from your arrow, make a loop and bring the tail out in the gap. Mind the gap. And then tear and tape waiting in the wings. Use your ribbon scissors and cut your tail at an angle. Do that on both sides. You don't have much extra ribbon to wiggle. Now, hey, you guys have this piece left over, and the other cards don't use this ribbon. So if you wanted to be a little bit not wasteful of this, if you have it left, what you could do is cut it at an angle. Now, you may or may not be able to do this depending on what your last card looked like, but I have this little bit right here. I could pick this off and add a second tail coming out the back here, right? Why not, right? I think it adds to it, makes it look cutesy, right? And then same thing here, let's pick this off. Only because I had extra. I was really frugal with my ribbon over there. And then this one's going to, look at that. I like it. Got extra tails going on. So what you can do, either grab tear and tape. I'm going to put glue dots instead, right over the top of where that tail is. Right? Otherwise, I didn't know what I was ever going to do with that ribbon, right? This way, it helps to go on the card. Then grab your dimensionals. And you want to be careful because it's going to stick where the tear and tape was ripped off. So I'm going to make sure I put my dimensionals right over the top of that. And I think for good measure, we'll put one more right there. Okay. It's not, oh, you know what? We're going to do one there. This thing isn't coming off. Okay. Like that. There's that. All right. And this is going to go on the front of the card. Perfect. Decent. Love it. Gemsies can go, I have a big and a small, so I'll put the big one up there, a big one down here, and then a small one down there. If you like the idea of having the two up there, oh, that looks cute too. There we go. Then you can see what they both look like. So I've got two down here and one up here, and here I did the opposite, 2 and 1. Voila. Hello, Mimi Howenstein. So happy I emailed you today with your total. Oh, it felt so good. I think you probably asked me the most for a total, so I felt really, really good when I sent you your total. You have no idea how accomplished I felt when I sent your email today. All right, there it is. I like it. I love it. I want some more of it. Perfect. I tried so hard. I can't rise above it. Don't know what it is about that little gal's loving. I like it. I love it. I want some more of it. You guys know Tim McGraw, right? Okay. There we go. Let's put you away. We'll put you over back here. Not sure if I need you anymore, but at least you're out of sight, out of mind. Okay, 2 cards done. So we've got our shaker done. And we've got our hogs and kisses. Kisses. All right, let's go to this one. Well, let's see what the next card is. And it's not this one. So let's do this one instead. All right, you guys are going to have to do a little bit of cutting on this one. We gave our helpers a little bit of a break by having them only cut one piece. Oh, look at that. There's some gems right in the beginning, right there. Debbie Gass just placed her February order and a Stampin' Up order while watching. You're ready to go. Good job. Very good job. Like it. Here's the whole embossing folder so you can see what that looks like. And then what I'm getting at is this piece right here. Some more of that one. And instead of having a 4-inch across, we gave you 2 inches. And what you're going to do is just grab your trimmer out. And you can use a scissors too. You don't have to use a trimmer. If you use a scissors, just make sure your rough cuts go to the inside. But this is called being frugal at its finest. If you're trying to save some designer paper, there you go. Uses a little more adhesive, but it definitely saves the DSP. You just, and an Amazon. Wow, you're on a roll, rocking and rolling hoochie coo. There is a heart, if I only had another heart. Here we have some banner dies. Can you see there? We were strategic here. We just cut that right out of the middle of that. And then you have your banner, covers it right up. So we could go ahead and glue that. Now, when I'm gluing this though, I'm gonna make sure I glue this area of the banner so that I'm not gluing the back of this and getting glue right through the middle. If you want stripes, you could also do stripes, but I thought the X and the O looked nice on here. All right, there it is. And then this is gonna get popped up. So you could stage this already with dimensionals. And then your heart is going to get popped up. Boop-a-doop, boop-a-doop. I was glad to be debt free. I know it's really hard. So when people ask me for amounts and totals and stuff like that, I get it. You want to not owe people money. Like, and Mimi, you're one of them. You're probably like of 20 people that hate to owe money to anybody. Like, we generally don't ever like to owe money. I get that. But for me in particular, like, it's really hard to take a moment to respond. And we didn't have the paper pumpkin pricing for that class, for the December class, until just before I left for Florida. So it was hard to respond to the email when I didn't have the details. But I get it. You wanna make sure you're buttoned up and have payment made to me. And it bothers people to owe money, so I apologize that it probably bothered you too long. So, but I'm glad today was the day that you get to be debt free with me. So we have Happy Valentine's Day that goes in here, and that's already on a block. So why don't we go ahead and stamp that? I've got my things over there set aside and ready to go. They're staged for when we're at that point. But let's make sure we get this guy straight in here. All right. Hopefully that worked. It did. Then on the inside of this, I've got, sending lots of love your way to celebrate this special day. You guys know I like that one. We used it the other day for class, which was perfect. I don't think that's going to work. Nope. So let's get over here and see if this will work. Ooh, do I dare try that? So that's kind of tight. So let's grab the D block. All right. So I would stamp this first and making sure it's straight on the block, like that. And go like that. Okay. Then we need our flamingos that are flirty. You guys see there's a little bow down there already made for you. And then let's grab another D block and put our heart on it. And now that I have that stamped, I'm going to put the heart. Now, did I do it at first or second string? Ooh, I think I stamped off. I'm pretty certain I stamped off. Let's see what I have. You guys worried about the ink pad? Ha ha ha. If I had bigger Tigger around here, I would be worried. But let's grab, oh my goodness, a scrap paper here. All right, have her enough room. Wrong color. We're gonna do that one. Stamp off. Oh yeah, look how dark that is. Oh man, so dark. Too dark. Definitely second strength. That looks much better. Oh man, could you imagine? That would be so distracting having that over the top. So definitely stamp off. Wax on, wax off. That is it. If you wanted to, you could also sponge around the edges of the banner. I'm going to not do it this time and be okay with it. Let's, oh man. These cats though, oh my goodness. And that actually might be my hair. It looked like a short one of mine. But it's no longer there, so that's all that matters. Let's grab this and these guys. If you want to use those, you could always use that side. But I'm going to put glue on that side. Let's move you there. Ooh, that needs to go on the inside. Now, I don't remember burnishing my card base, so we'll do that here. Perfect. All right, so let's get a little measurement. For those that want to know, I am a hair over 1 3/4 from the bottom. So what I'll do is grab the ruler and put that here. And now, the true test is to see if this is 1 3/4. It's 1 1/2. All right, so that means I have it a little bit north of the equator, and I'm okay with that. I like that it is a little bit more towards the top, which gives a little bit more room here. So I'm gonna stick with that 1 3/4, and then this must be 1 and 3/4. Well, wait, 1 5/8. Oh, I have it centered, 1 5/8. One moment, let's do this. Whatever I did there, I'm gonna copy it. So we're going to be at 1 5/8 there, and it's deceiving that it is centered because of how much extra space is in there. So 1 5/8 is our trick though. So then you can grab the ruler here and go across, and 1 5/8. Let's see. Yep. And yep. Okay. Can you explain how the team pricing works? I don't remember. The team pricing for what? Can a class, or for events, or for what specifically for team pricing? Just give me something to go off of first, and then I'll explain it. Because there's different team pricing options for different things. So let's put this here. I think that is pretty centered. And then this gets glued to the front, like that. And then our heart is ready. Oh, you wanted, we made sure when we die cut these that the X's and the O's. Well, I wonder if that paper could go both ways, actually. Nope, because there's hearts in the middle. So yes, we made sure to cut that properly. I'm actually going to also put a dimensional right there in the middle to support that little tabby tab thing. So I'm going to line up my peak with the top of that peak. And then the banner is going to get popped up only on the side. So you're going to want to grab like a half a dimensional here. It's me, Yvette. I'm dizzy. Oh, I'm hi, Yvette. Yeah, so, but if I didn't know if you were asking about events like the Paper Palooza, or if you were talking about, or like escapes, or if you were talking about the product-based classes or other classes. So I'm just putting dimensionals on the edges here, right? And then what's going to happen is, oh man, I'm going to take them off, and actually, I have a plan. I have a plan. We're going to hang on to those for just a moment. So, right there. Okay, we're going to put liquid glue through the middle. So, okay, I'll answer for both things. For events, how I have the team pricing is that if you're getting the Paper Palooza or the Escape, then it's $10 off your registration. So the Paloozas are $120 plus shipping. So then it would be $110 plus shipping. And if you're doing the Escape, the cost is $130. And if you're on the team, it's $120. Right? So this is where I've got this. Now I'm going to take my dimensionals and pull them up. And I can put that dimensional right underneath the edge there, so that the part of the banner that's hanging over is supported. Okay, so events, right? $10 off registration. And then if I do product-based classes, so product-based classes are Stamp-a-Stacks, where it includes a full pack of designer paper, a full pack of ribbon, and a full gem. And I'm putting 2 glue dots there, and we're going to pop this little red and white baker's twine bow right into the middle of that. So if you're doing a Stamp-a-Stack with me and you're on my team, and or you're doing a Memories and More class, which is where you get the Memories and More pack. Oh, these tails look good like that. Maybe I'll trim them just a hair. If you're getting a Memories and More class where it's the Memories and More pack, the ribbon and the gems, and you want to do team pricing, how it works is you would supply your own packs of designer paper or Memories and More, your own ribbon and your own gems, right? So you're buying your own, and then you're buying the cut up card pack from me, which can be between 15 and 20 cards, just depending on if it's a Memories and More class, and it just depends on when we design it, what it ends up being. So you would get the card packet, and you would also need to supply your own envelopes. So I have a big gem here, which I'm going to put right on this. I'm going to put it right on the heart here, I think. And then, no, you know what I'm going to do? I want it to be up here with a small one. So the like, so for example, we have Memories and More class coming up, and the class is $55 plus shipping. And if you are on my team, you have the team pricing option, which means that you would supply the Memories and More pack, the butterfly gems, your envelopes. I think because we designed 15 cards for it, you get your own envelopes, and then the ribbon. And then what happens, I have it right here, I'll show you. If you do the team pricing option, you would get this, which is a packet that has the 15 card bases, all the mats, any die cuts that go for the cards. So that is what the team pricing option is, $22 plus shipping. And so you have your 15 card kits, all cut, scored, die cut, anything done, anything embossed is ready to go. And when you do a Stamp-A-Stack with us, the same thing kind of happens, where you get a card pack like that. So if you're on the team and you want us to get the whole thing, the whole gamut, the whole ball of wax, and we would get it, you can do that. As if you're on the team, you can have your choice of what you do, full price or team pricing. Okay, let's grab the Stella pen here. I'm trying to think if there's anything else where we do team pricing. Oh, the caddies, these caddies, if you get a caddy from me, the Be Happy Stampers one is $20, and the non-team pricing is $25. What is that? A big gem. And then the cloth garbages that we have too. There's team pricing on the cloth garbages. If you're on the team, the cloth garbages are $15, and the non-team pricing is $20. So there's a little bit of a discount there. So there's certain things that the team gets special pricing on. So just extra little perks, and that's eligible for anybody that is on the team. All right, there it is. There's our third card that we did for tonight. So we've got these 3 done so far. Lots of red and pink. Oh yeah, red and pink. So now we transition to Flirty, and we're gonna keep the Flirty train going and move over to Flirty with white. So that one's done. So that says perfect. I hate cutting cardstock, but I got to Bronze Elite, so I can go back to buying kits again. Oh, good job. Congratulations on hitting Bronze Elite. Yeah, so now you get your 25% discount, which is pretty cool. All right, so this has something for me because of a mat. We'll see what happens. So this one is all, the base is white. And so when we do white bases, we stamp directly on the card. And don't lose your ribbon, your gems and your arrow are back here. Make sure you burnish your edge here. Thanks, Chris Niebaum. All right, so keep it horizontal. So this one, you got to do a little cutting here as well. So grab your trimmer out. And so I think this is set up that it's 2 inches. It's 1.5. So you're going to cut it at 3/4 of an inch. So we gave our cutters a little bit of a break. So part of it's going to go on the top and part's going to go on the bottom. Now, I completely tricked people for this class because people didn't know what to do with this. They're like, why are you giving me a scrap that looks like this? It's like, it's not a scrap. It's truly, genuinely your mat. And when you put that piece of designer paper over the top of it, you never know that those letters came out of there, right? So that's pretty cool. We did that. So what we can do, let's go ahead. I'm going to just do a test of the public broadcasting system. I'm going to see if my designer paper goes right to the end here. It does. So if for any reason your designer paper, one of them is longer than the other, now's your time to trim it. The same with this one. If this is longer, you could trim it and give it a haircut, but all of mine are nice and flush. So that's good to know. So what we can do here is we'll glue this mat down. Bit of glue, and then make sure your hearts are going the right direction. Well, at this moment it doesn't matter. It matters more when we get to adhering this to the card base, actually. All right, and make sure you're nice and flush on that side. Then what we can do, I put all of this flat, so let's put liquid glue behind these guys. And this one, and that one. So now it's important to make sure your hearts are going correct, right? So that's the bottom. And I'm trying to get the same margin on the 3 sides here. And then I'm trying to do the same on this one. Okay, something like that. Then this one, centered top to bottom, like that. Now I didn't pop this up because if you pop this up, you would see underneath and you'd see that it was missing all the designer paper. So it was important for me to glue all of this flat on the front of the card. If you really, really wanted, you could pop up all the rest of the stuff, but I chose to glue my letters flat too, and then just to pop up the heart. This is we really like this card. Cute for a wedding card too. It sure is. Okay, so we're gonna glue the letters down. We kind of saved the easiest one for last, I think. All right, so the L, L-O-V-E, love. You got just a hair on the left side here. Like that. And then a hair on the right side. You could grab that ruler if you want and make sure you're even. So let's move you down a hair. Okay. And then the V doesn't quite hit the E, but is super close. Make sure you're nice and flush. All right, the heart gets popped up with some dimensionals. And, oh, not there yet. Our arrow needs to get manipulated here. Okay, so again, we're gonna make our arrow grow. So we're gonna cut it in the middle pretty much. And I would grab blue dots and put one on the top of that and one on the top of this one. Okay. Again, I have the luxury. I can use my sample because I like where I have it. I have too much going on, so we're going to let you go. Set you here. Pick it up. Right, so I'm good with that. And then this one. Oh, I lost it. Look at that guy. Well, my snot dot stuck to the glass mat. And now it's not wanting to come up. All right, let's see if we can salvage that. Ooh, I don't know. Maybe not. We'll let you go till be done. Let's go to another one here. All right. Very sticky. We're just gonna kind of keep that in the air and see if that works. All right. So what I would do, grab that ruler and see if you can get your arrow to make it look like it's not going crooked, right? So flush here, and so that it makes it like it's actually straight. You don't want like this to be angled this way and that to be angled that way. So that's important, right? Okay, so now that that's good, what you can do is, oh, I already got that cut. So we can put a little dimensional over that. And we'll put a little bit more right there just to hold it in place. You don't want it to fall out. Okay, so that fits where our O is supposed to be. Cool. All right. Very cool. We did take the Flirty Flamingo ink and a sponge dauber and gently added a little bit of color to our heart. Because we use the Beautiful Patterns embossing folder, there's some raised stitching looking, and you just want to be very careful. You're just going to go lightly over the top. And you could have done this not on your card. You could have done it ahead of time before you put it down, but I was going to risk it for the biscuit here and just go for it lightly over the top. So when you do that, it illuminates it a little bit. Not that noticeable, but when you get it in person, you can notice it a lot more. Okay, then we're gonna use some more glue dots to put our little baker twine bow. It's a little white baker's twine. So we'll put that right in the middle, like that. And we had the hardest time figuring out where to put the ribbon on this. And that's what we came up with. And I don't even know if we need to trim those tails or not. Let's just see here. Maybe a hair, just a little bit there, maybe a little there. Cool. Then the gems that we use on this one are the more flirty gems. So I've got a big one here, and they'll have too big and a small or too small and a big. So I've got a big and a, well, yeah, these are the same size. So I'm going to put this one right here, like that, and then the other one can go on the E. Perfect. We did it. Let's see though, could we put Stella anywhere? Gosh, doesn't it feel like Thursday night? I was just thinking in my head that tomorrow's Friday, and it's like, no, 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 today is Thursday. It's not Friday. All right, today's Wednesday, sorry, not Thursday. Now I'm all messed up. It's Wednesday, Wednesday, Wednesday. All right, I think that that little arrow needs some support, like your underwire bra, right? Let's give this some support. We need to cut the smallest, teeniest, tiniest, this little guy right here. That is perfect. And what I'm gonna do, grab the pokey tool, and we're gonna stage that underneath our arrow, right there. Okay. It just was a little flippy floppy, and I don't like the flippy floppiness. And we're gonna do the same thing with this one. Give it the stability there that it needs. Perfect. Let's remove the cat fur from the bow. Okay, good job. And what could we Stella? I would stay away now from the heart because we've just put ink all over it. Ooh. Do I want to do this? Yep. Okay, we're going for the white. I was going to do the arrow, but we're going to do the V here. Perfect. We're going to do this little arrow. We'll do the E. I'll do this side of the arrow and the L. Good deal. Thanks, Becky Brewer. Nancy said Jackie and Shadow are on the nest. Hopefully she will lay another egg. Ooh, that would be cool. All right. Put you away. We finished off the dimensionals, the foam adhesive strips. Very good. Do a little cleanup on aisle 9 here. Bring the cards back in so you guys can see what we did tonight and tell me which one you like the best. I get stuff cleaned up. All right, here they are. Again, I have some of this class available if you're looking for some kits. I would probably say at this moment, I'm going to plan to ship them with our planned shipping that we're going to be doing later in the week. So we're trying to pull everything together on Friday so that we can start shipping on Friday and then finish it by Monday. So if you do want to get on this, when is Valentine's Day? The 14th. So I'd probably say we could potentially, if you don't have anything else going out, we'd probably mail this class to you on Friday. And you could maybe make some cards in case you need some in-person delivery cards. Otherwise, you could always save them and use them for next Valentine's Day. I think at the moment I have less than a handful left. I would have to say there's 5 or less available of this class. So, good. I think I got all the stamps cleaned. We can put these away. So again, the stamp set that we featured, we did some words from Valentine's Kisses, and then we've got the Endless Love got featured on this one. And then the dies were really showcased on here. So we used a bunch of those dies. Okay, Randy likes all the cards, good. Jeannie Curtis says, I think I need this kit because all the cards are great. Oh, Jeannie Curtis, we can make that happen. I know I sent your email today with your class registration, but if you want to add this class, once you decide if you do want it or not, just send me a quick email. And what I'll probably do is just send a follow-up. And it would only be $24 to add it to your kit because you've already got the other package going out. So it wouldn't be the full amount, right? And we'll add it to your box that we have going out, or your package. Okay, so again, you don't even necessarily need to have these specific stamps. You can use the other Valentine's Day stamps that you have, right? Because primarily just words are what you need. All right, so let's see if I got all my stamps on here. So this is the trick that I have to do now, right? So we have 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay, they're all here. Mimi says the shaker is her favorite. Good, very good. I know, that shaker is a lot of fun. Shakers are a lot of fun. All right, that's not going to work. We're having a little bit of a blowout there. Okay, cool. Lisa loves the kit, L-O-V-E, love. Shirley says, I like all of them, but I think my favorite is the hugs and the kisses. Oh, yeah, I like that. So all these are great layouts that you guys could easily reproduce. Maybe not this one so much if you don't have some bigger letters, but this one and this one definitely could easily reproduce those layouts. All right, you can also, oh, Doris Munson said, you can also add this to my card kit. All right, okay. Well, Doris, I'm seeing that officialness right here that you do want this one. And you had added the Let's Just Stamp 2 from Monday, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, I'm pretty sure you did. So I will make sure that when I send your email out that we'll add these two. And Julie Block says, I like them all. I'm going to have to watch the replay for the shaker. Okay, yeah, and that we did that pretty much right in the beginning. And then I think that Jeannie Curtis, I'll write your name here and make a note that you want that potentially want this class. I don't lose track of that. All right. Love them all. It's a Saturday. Yeah, I had my dates all messed up, you guys. Yeah, today is officially Wednesday the 4th. And tomorrow is the 5th, Thursday. And then Saturday is the 7th. So, oh, yeah. Since last week, all my dates have been just a little bit wonky for me. Hi, Sherry Ott. Better late than never. I like this art. Okay, I think I got everything here. So I'm just looking back to see if I missed anything. All right, we got the team pricing question answered. Okay, very good. So I did mention that I have not been very diligent about logging payments. People have been paying me for classes. I just have them all highlighted yellow in my spreadsheet. I need about 2 hours, 3 hours to go through and log all those. So I haven't logged my book, my class registration book, to see who's placed an order to get this class for free versus who's paid for it. When I have that done for the monthly class, the Let's Just Stamp, the Sweet Bundle, and the catalog launch, and the Greenery Lane, I will do those drawings. And I'm not guaranteeing I will have that done by tomorrow, because tomorrow is the first, well, this was a makeup class. I don't look at this as the first class of the month. It's actually the last class of last month. So the first class for February is technically tomorrow night with the monthly class. And so my goal with Kelly is we pull all the names for all the drawings, and we're going to be doing that tomorrow. If I have the bandwidth to do all those makeup drawings, I will, and otherwise it'll probably wait till when I do one of my classes later in February. So we'll have to see. I know that we have class tomorrow night, which is the monthly class. We're planning a big shipping date between Friday and Monday shipping. And then on Monday, I have the monthly class again for my in-person community. We have it twice, in the afternoon and then the evening. And then we have brainstorming with the bees. So if you're on my team, the Bee Happy Stampers, we have a Zoom meeting. We've been doing it now. It started in January. We do it once a month, that you can ask whatever questions, just hang out, chat. And starting in February, I'm going to be doing my monthly recognition from last month. So this is something that's a little bit new. Normally I do, and I'm going to continue to do my meetings quarterly. The team has grown by leaps and bounds, and it takes a lot to do a lot of time in the meetings to do the recognition for monthly ordering and those who promote and those who join the team. So I'm taking a subset of my quarterly team meeting where I do all 3 months during the quarterly meeting. And what I'm going to do is the first 5 minutes to 8 minutes of the brainstorming with the bees, I'm going to take the time to announce in for February, we're going to announce in January who joined the team, who promoted, who who placed a $100 order or more to get in on the drawing, who the 10th of the month order. I'm going to do all that kind of recognition on a monthly basis. It'll be recorded on the Zoom recording, and then it'll just save up a little bit of time for our quarterly team meetings that I don't, because we're getting to the point where we're listing off 100 people. And it's like, wow, it's awesome. It's amazing. But it takes a little bit longer now with 100 people when it used to be only 20 or 30 or 40 or 50 or 60 or 70. So that is cool. So if anybody wants to catch that, you can join us live on Monday from the team, or you can watch the replay. So I will also be sharing the unlisted link that you can watch later. And then on Tuesday, Diane may or may not be over. We're going to try to maybe design the Let's Just Stamp in the morning. And then on Wednesday, the 11th, Tyler and John and Tiff and I are going to be heading out to go to the Grand Cayman. We usually do our friend trip somewhere. We have usually just done winter camping locally here, but we decided to take a big leap this time and go on an international trip together with the four of us and see what happens. And so we leave on Wednesday, the 11th, and we get back on Tuesday, the 17th. And so I'm excited that the girls are going to hold down the fort here. They got lots of things going on here while I'm gone, and staying at the house here for me to make sure the cats are taken care of. So I'm not worried about that, but I'm going to go off, and I don't plan to take my computer with me. Like, we're with Florida, you guys. I took my computer, and I probably was on my computer for 20 or 25 hours total while I was gone for 4 days or 5 days. Every night I worked at the computer for 4 or 5 hours, just working on this computer stuff that needed to get done. And this one, though, I don't plan to take my computer. I plan to get everything shipped and then just take a pause from life and sit in the sun a little bit and do some fun things. So yeah, that's the plan for me for next week. And then I get back, I think, the 17th, and we go right into classes, though, with the 18th and the 19th. I've got stuff on the calendar. So, but I know that Gina's going to be doing classes. Kelly's going to be doing classes. Kelly's here a bunch. And so there's going to be, like, you guys, we won't skip a beat. So it's all good. Oh, you're very welcome, Yvonne. All right. Julie Block says, thank you for class. You're very welcome. And Julie had never done a shaker card before. Well, good. Make sure you go ahead and watch the replay so you know how to do it. And Jeannie Gertis just sent over payment for this class. So I will add you to the shipping. So you guys, I started to do something different for this month as well. I, in addition to keeping track of everything in a spreadsheet, what I have started to do is I'm taking, for anybody that gets emails from me for the registrations, it always has, your amount, and then it has everything listed with the dollar value. What I'm doing is copying that, pasting it into a Word document, and I'm going to print that out. And each person then in their box now or package, we're going to have a little slip of paper that lists everything so that you can do a cross check and make sure that you got everything too. And then that way it helps us too before we ship it to make sure we can cross things off. So I'm going to try that this month and see if that helps us. So I missed a bunch of rulers for people last month, and that's because the ruler is the last thing in the spreadsheet way at the end. And I know I missed a glue caddy for a glue holder for Patty Wright. So those things are way at the end of the spreadsheet, and I missed them for like 3 or 4 people. And it's because I didn't scroll all the way over and double check that the entire row for you was taken care of for a few people. And so I owe some rulers to people, and I owe some glue holders to people. And this is a way that I'm hopeful that we cross-check it on our end before we ship, and then you guys can cross-check it on your end too. So we're always looking for ways to improve ourselves and make less human mistakes, right? but you guys know that we're human, right? We do the best we can always, and that's about all I can promise, is that we do our best. So all right, you guys, I'm going to sign off and say sunshine, love, and big hugs to you. And tomorrow's Thursday. Again, we'll be live tomorrow night. So tomorrow night is the monthly class. So we will see you live in the Hive at 6 p.m. tomorrow night. Love ya. Bye, guys.